He invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm playing the music, and he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you.
It's just what's bothering me is that being a celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful and a celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, bullshit sometimes, and,
What is going on? People don't understand, like, you really do not know what happens to some of these celebrities and stuff behind closed doors. Because when they come out, they have these moments like this where they just doing things that are out of the ordinary. Like, you looking like, where's T? Like, what is going on?
Taraji P. Henson has always been open about how hard she had to work to earn her place in Hollywood. She didn't just walk in and get everything handed to her, she had to fight for every opportunity. That's exactly why she's no longer staying quiet about the ugly side of the industry. She's calling out how Hollywood covers up real problems and punishes the people brave enough to speak out. Lately, a lot of attention has been on what's going on behind the scenes with some of her former Empire co-stars, especially Terrence, Howard, and Bryshere Gray. Things took a strange turn when rumors started spreading about how Diddy allegedly used Bryshere, then tossed him aside, and tried to do the same to Terrence. The internet has been buzzing with reactions, and it's only getting messier now that Diddy is behind bars. People are wondering what else is about to come to light, because it feels like more and more secrets are coming out every day. Now, let's talk about Bryshere Gray, aka Yaz the Greatest. If you missed what he's been doing online lately, consider yourself lucky. His Twitter feed has become a place no one expected. After struggling to find acting jobs and being shut out of the industry, he turned to OnlyFans. It all started with him sharing some flirty photos. But things quickly escalated. He began posting explicit videos of himself, and it shocked a lot of fans who once saw him as a rising star. What really made things more uncomfortable is that Bryshere didn't stop there. He eventually began collaborating with gay and trans creators, sharing very graphic content online. His tweets and videos started to get more outrageous, with him saying wild things just to get clicks. It's clear he's doing it for money, but many people are left confused and heartbroken. They remember the talented young man from Empire, and now they're seeing someone who looks completely lost. Of course, Bryshere is a grown man and responsible for his own choices. But a lot of fans can't help but wonder how he ended up like this. When he was just 17, he got introduced to big names like Will Smith and Diddy. Jaguar Wright even claimed that his mother, Andrea, basically handed him over to the dark side of the industry. She says he was passed around by powerful people who promised to help his career, but clearly had other plans. His former manager, Charlie Mack, reportedly tried to help by connecting him with Will Smith to develop his acting. Then Diddy stepped in, supposedly to help with his music career. But let's be real, those mentorship programs in Hollywood often have a dark side. We've all heard the disturbing stories, especially about things like Puffy's Taste Camp. In the end, Bryshere's story feels less like a fall from grace and more like someone who got caught in a system that chews people up and spits them out. And now Taraji, along with others, is tired of pretending everything's okay. She's speaking the truth, and we need to listen.
You happy now? He's a gay porn star. Are you happy now, Andy? For a book that didn't sell? I hope that new husband of yours leaves you. And maybe it's time you tell your son why his father is really in jail, his biological father, for all of his life, and what you had to do with it.
Jaguar Wright was one of the first to speak out, criticizing Bryce's mom for putting him in harm's way and accusing her of handing him over to powerful people for gain.
He invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I'm playing the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck.
By the time Bryshere finished his run on Empire, the damage had already been done. He wasn't the same rising star people once admired. Behind the scenes, powerful figures in the industry had taken advantage of him, treating him more like a toy than a person. After his contract ended, things quickly spiraled. He seemed lost, with no real direction left in Hollywood. In 2020, things got even worse. His wife had to escape their home and call for help, saying he had been physically abusive for some time. When the police arrived, it took them hours to bring him in. His mugshot shocked many. He looked completely different, like a shell of who he used to be. Every headline since then has painted a grim picture. While he is an adult responsible for his choices, the long-term effects of trauma are clear. This story mirrors Orlando Brown's, and now Terrence. Howard is also speaking up about his disturbing experiences with Diddy.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them and their mentors.
It's always strange when someone like Diddy says he wants to hang out with you. Did everyone forget what 50 Cent warned us about him not too long ago?
He doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said something fabulous and he goes, yo, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What is he talking about? Oh, my insane is not. People say to me, I get a little uncomfortable. Like, I get uncomfortable. Like, he said something to me one time, a long time ago. At Chris Lighty's wedding, he told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just said? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no. See what the guy says to him.
Diddy wasn't even offering Terrence Howard a contract, a role in a film, or anything professional. They weren't close friends either, so there was no real reason for them to be working together. Even though Terrence has said some strange things in the past, what he shared about Diddy sounded just like the same behavior people have been accusing Diddy of for years. It wasn't hard to believe. What helped Terrence in this situation was that he already had a successful career and didn't need Diddy's help to move forward. He also said he saw firsthand the damage Diddy's control had on other stars. Terrence chose not to play that game, even though it meant walking away from big opportunities.
No matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most, and so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are, and that's what the business does. The women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream, they don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything.
But what happens to those who didn't have the power to say no, like Bryshere, stuck in tough positions? Sometimes, it's not just about money. It's about what you're forced to give up. Taraji went through something similar when she had to speak out about not being paid fairly.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over.
The way this business works is simple. Either you go hungry or you give in. When someone struggling finally sees a way out, they usually grab it. That's why, according to rumors, Taraji P. Henson is relieved that Terrence Howard is finally speaking up, and that more people are talking about the unfair treatment Bryshere Gray endured. It's heartbreaking to remember how Bryshere went from a rising star on Empire to someone lost and alone. Too many powerful figures in Hollywood let him down, and he paid the price. If Terrence's account is accurate, the industry isn't just broken, it's toxic to its core. And if Diddy's inner circle really took advantage of young actors, the whole house of cards might crumble. What do you think? Did Bryshere's struggles start because he was left to navigate Hollywood on his own? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you agree, and subscribe for more honest conversations. I'll see you in the next video.